So these are the answers to the skill practice problems in section 5.2. So we're going to add 184 and 218 thousandths to 14 and 12 hundredths. So I'm going to line them up vertically, lining up the decimal points. And since my first add-in has 3 decimal places, my second has 2, I can add a 0 on the end if I want. And then I'm going to just add them vertically. So 8 plus 0 is 8. This is 3, 3, 8, 9. So I have 198 and 338 thousandths is my sum. And again, I'm going to add, now I'm going to line them up vertically, and I can add zeros on. The number 3, we assume the decimal point comes after the 3. It's 3 ones and then 0 in the rest of these places. And so then I just go ahead and add the columns vertically. And I leave the decimal point where it is lined up. And I end up with 21 and 3,741 hundred thousandths. Okay, and now I'm going to subtract. So again, I'll line them up vertically, and I'll put some zeros in where necessary, and here I'll be doing some borrowing likely. So 4 minus 2 is 2, 9 minus 1 is 8. And I have to borrow because I can't do 1 minus 5. I borrow 1 from the 3, making it 2, and the 1 I borrowed will make this an 11, and 11 minus 5 is 6, and I bring that decimal point right down where it is, and I'll have 2 and 682 thousandths. For number 5, you see that I only have 3 decimal places, but my second number has 4, so I'll put a 0 here. And then I'm going to have to borrow because I can't do the 0 minus 4. I borrow from the 7, making it a 6. And then 10 minus 4 is 6. I can't do 6 minus 8, so I borrow 1. And that becomes 16 minus 8, which is 8. 8 minus 5 is 3. And so I'm going to end up with 2,386 ten thousandths. And for number 6, again, I'm going to put these zeros on. And the borrowing can't start until I'm at this place with the 4. So I borrow from the 4, making it a 3. That gives me a 10, so 0 can borrow from 10, making that 9, and this 10. So 10 minus 1 is 9, 9 minus 3 is 6, 3 minus 2 is 1. I bring the decimal point down, 6 minus 4 is 2, 5, and 1. So I have 152 and 169 thousandths. So now I'm looking at this shape, and they're asking me to consider this figure, and then they want me to start by finding the length of side X. And remember, when you're looking for a horizontal piece, you only use the other 2 horizontal pieces. So I look at this 2.7 and this 1.8, and I recognize that if I add those 2 pieces for letter A, then I'll have the length of X. So I'm going to do 2.7 and add 1.8, and I'll have 4.5 feet for the length of X. Now when I'm looking for Y, I only look at the other vertical pieces. So I have 4.6, and here I'll subtract off 2.1 to be left with Y. So if I do 4.6 and subtract 2.1, I'll have 2.5 feet. And then they want me to find the perimeter. So the perimeter is all the way around. So we're going to add this 4.5 plus 4.6, 1.8, 2.1, 2.7, and my y, which is 2.5. So I'm going to line these up vertically, 4.5, 4.6, 1.8, 2.1, 2.7, 2.5. Okay, so when I add these, I'm going to end up with 18.2 feet for my perimeter. Okay, and we're going to simplify by combining like terms. So for number 12, negative 9.15 negative 9.15t minus 2.34t. We combine the coefficients and we keep the variable part. So I'm going to look at negative 9.15 minus 2.34. So the signs are the same. So I'm going to add and keep the sign. So I have negative 11.49t. So we combine the coefficients and we keep the variable part t. For number 13, I'm going to simplify by combining the like terms. So I'm going to put the w's with w's and the z's with z's. So I have 0.31w plus 0.54w. So I'll combine the coefficients and I'll keep the variable part. So I'll have 0.76w. And now the z's, I have 0.46z minus 0.2z. So when I subtract, I get positive 0.26z. Okay, so my simplified expression will have two terms for number 13, 0.76w plus 0.26z.